Hey. So this is part 3 of this series, not counting the Mr. Puzzles one. And this video is about the walking trash bin known as Bob. Also, I know I said in my SMG3 video that I wouldn't talk about any unrelated SMG4 episodes unless I truly needed to. But here I truly need to. But I'll do that at the end because I've got quite a lot to say. But first, Bob. So let's go. He was first introduced in Super Mario 64 bloopers, Can Ganondorf Come Out to Play? And he's basically just played off as a joke character here. And then in some episodes like Mario's Train Trip, he's played as a broken antagonist who's just trying to find some friends. Then Bob's friendship with Boopkins started in what I believe to be an Awesome Mario video, where Boopkins tries to sneak Bob into Peach's castle. Then 2018 comes around, and in the Waluigi arc, he didn't even do much since he was absent from videos like the Mario Con. Then he got his own arc where money and fame got to him, and he just threw away all his friends with a master plan, like getting them to burn down his house. Or how he threw Boopkins in a well in the first episode of the arc. But then it backfired on him when Psycho dropped a diss on him. Losing everything, he goes back to living in the trash until the previous arc villain approaches him, that being Waluigi, and shows him the importance of friendship. Then he goes to fix it, and did just that by announcing he's retiring. Then everyone forgives him, then the arc ends. Then with the other arcs now at the anime arc, he was kind of the reason for the anime ban, because he's the one that destroyed Peach's castle, causing her to ban anime. In the YouTube arc, he didn't really do much. In the Genesis arc, he was kind of the reason for Zero getting released, because he ignored SMG3's USB, saying the virus protection's nearly up. In the Revelations arc, he didn't really do much, but neither did anyone else, to be fair. The Lawsuit arc, he didn't do much. It's got to be perfect. The only thing I remember him doing is calling Melanie, and that's about it. Western Spaghetti, he was a criminal, so he didn't have much screen time. Wadfy 2023, he was working for Marty. In Puzzle Vision, he and Boopkins saved everyone from the different channels. Meme Factory, he was there, but just kind of got distracted and then defeated. Wadfy 2024, he was the third person to get taken up by Mr. Puzzles. The Karen arc, he was there for a single second in Hobo Mario. Then the prison arc, he fought Mr. Weapons and lost, and then was kind of just there for the movie. So overall, I do like Bob. However, I have seen some people, mainly newer fans, who actually don't like him, and I haven't been able to figure out why. So if you hate Bob, can you please tell me why in the comments, because I genuinely don't know why some people hate him. Because me now, I think he's great, because the first ever SMG4 video I watched was in 2018, and that was Mario Waits for Pizza, and I thought he was hilarious, like that one scene where he tries to stop Meggy from leaving, and so he does the dual-wield waifu move, and jumps at her only for her to defeat him with a simple punch. I've honestly got nothing bad to say about Bob, because I think he's a great character. He's not my favourite character, but he's at least in my top 10. So now we move on to the Super Mario Kart World episode, and this is the episode we're talking about. And this episode honestly pissed me and a lot of other people off, especially McCrum. I just took his reaction for that. But before we talk about the bad things, let's talk about the good things. But that'll be a short list, so let's just do that. So the only good thing about this episode was the swag part, because that was actually funny. And loved the fact that for once they didn't censor the word bitch. And that was all I liked from the episode. So now for what I hated. Now there was a massive writing flaw in this episode, and that revolves around Mr. Monitor. And to be honest with you, this wouldn't be a problem if someone else wasn't there. And that's this guy. Like, why the hell are you here after 3 weeks of Guns and Puzzles being out? One of the biggest reasons as to why I hated last year of SMG4 was because of the inclusion of Mr. Puzzles in episodes outside of arcs. Like, they're literally not necessary and are honestly just forced. The only one you could say was necessary was Mario the Explorer, and even that was forced because of how popular Mr. Puzzles was at the time, for some reason. And the reason I say at the time is because of one of the biggest reasons their views have been down this year is because of their constant use of the same characters, aka Mr. Puzzles. And this episode honestly proves that point, because in comparison to other episodes, even from this year, this one has done so much worse, because by the time of the 15-hour mark, most videos would at least have over 500,000 views. This one now had 370,000 by the 15-hour mark. And I wish I took a screenshot so I could show it, but even by looking at the views now, you can tell that in comparison to other videos, it's not done as well. And Puzzles is on the thumbnail as well, so even further proving that point. Now, let's look at the person who decided to bring Puzzles into this video, and that was Statius. And I just want to make one thing clear. I do not hate Statius, okay? I think he's a great writer. But I just think bringing puzzles into this video was a massive mistake. Because honestly, at least for me, I'm not sure about anyone else, but for me, it killed the hype for WOD v 2025. And one of the reasons I was so hyped for the prison arc was because from Silence of the Cats to Prison Vision, they didn't bring back Mr. Puzzles or Mr. Weapons. But with Puzzles' inclusion in Super Mario Kart World, the hype has been killed a little bit. That's why last year I wasn't that excited for the Meme Factory or WOD v 2024, because they brought him back in a random episode beforehand. Also, by the time of WOD v 2024, he was already overused. Also, Statius' reason for putting Puzzles into the video was because he's a Mr. Puzzles fan. And Statius, you could be a Mr. Puzzles fan, but that doesn't mean to prove it, you put him in a video. Like, we all know you're a Mr. Puzzles fan, and that's alright. Although, there is a little part of me that's scared because of what Statius said, and it could lead to Mr. Puzzles being in every video now. That most likely will not happen, but there is a little part of me that's scared of that possibility. But like I said, probably won't happen. Now, like I said, don't hate Statius, his writing is great. I don't hate Statius, his writing is great. Like, Let's Make a Deal Now was his first SMG4 episode, and I loved that episode because it actually did something with Melanie. Also, I find this funny, but Statius' first SMG4 episode was a Melanie episode, and then Wizard Wiz, who also started working at SMG4 this year, his first video was Mario Gets Lost in a Shopping Mall, which was pretty much a Melanie episode because of her backstory getting revealed. I just kind of find that funny. Also, Statius designed my second favourite SMG4 character, Toomp, so I definitely do not hate Statius, and I hope Statius or anyone else didn't get any hate because of Super Mario Kart World, because that's just pathetic if people attack them for it. But I just hope they don't make that mistake again. Also, another reason as to why I'm against Puzzles' inclusion in non-arc episodes is because bro's meant to be the current main antagonist of the entire series. If he was a secondary antagonist like Marty now, like how Marcy was, I'd generally be fine with his inclusion for the most part, aside from the obvious writing flaw with him and Mr. Monitor. And I hope by the end of WOD v 2025, Puzzles at the very least is no longer the main antagonist of the series. Because I don't think I can go into 2026 with him still being the main antagonist. And with that, that's my Bob rating. And very long SMG4 Super Mario Kart World ranked. This was supposed to be just a Bob episode, but like I said at the start, I had to talk about this. And I'm going to try my hardest now to only talk about the characters in these videos. Although it's kind of a good thing it was only SMG3 and Bob's one that I had to talk about a video as well, because those two are really the only two, apart from maybe Luigi, who I have really no problems with. Because if it wasn't, this video and SMG3's one would have only been about a minute and a half long. So anyway, goodbye.